In today's video, I wanted to share with you two powerful questions that you could ask yourself in order to improve the quality of your sleep. And these two powerful questions are, what am I unwilling to give up in order to improve the quality of my sleep? And on the flip side of that, what am I willing to give up? So in this video, I'm going to give you some details, some stories, some examples of things that people are willing to give up and things that people are unwilling to give up, just to get you started on creating this awareness for yourself so that you can create better sleep. So for those who don't know me, my name is Carol Richard. I'm the founder of the Sleep Success Academy. And today I just wanted to give you a little bit of a heads up that there has been some changes to my website. So if you go to sleepsuccessacademy.com, and if you look at the top, there's two tabs that I want to bring your attention to. One is called Sleep Support. And under that tab, if you scroll down just a little bit, you'll see that for now, there's these three things you can sign up for, but keep going here because when I do free presentations or free coaching calls, this is where you'll be able to sign up. And you'll also be notified through my email, through social media, through here when something becomes available. And the next free coaching call that I'm planning is on October 3rd. So coming up shortly. And we're going to take these two questions in that coaching program or coaching call and really dig deep. And then we're going to have worksheets and it's free. You just come and see if this is the way you would want to help yourself get your sleep on track. That's the first thing. And the second tab I want you to look at is right next to it where it says free resources. This is a new tab. So every time I do one of these free resources, like the 3 key ingredient to better sleep, you'll see that it's posted there. So you can sign up to get the replay. There's no obligations for anything else. It's free for you to use to see if it can help you get your sleep back on track. And every time I do a free coaching call, I'm planning, my thought right now is to do it about once a month to offer something free so that for the people who need to get their sleep back on track, just don't know me or my approach, this will actually give you more insight and it might actually help you fix your sleep without needing anything more. So those are the two spots on the website I wanted to bring your attention to. Now let's get back to these questions. So I have a bunch of notes here. Because I do these two questions for myself a lot, not just when it comes to sleep, but other areas of my life as well. And so the first story I want to bring in to make you understand these two questions, what am I willing to give up in order to improve the quality of my sleep or to whatever, and what am I unwilling to give up? And it's so important to get clarity on this. So I had someone that I know that was speaking with my husband one day. This I'm talking about maybe 10 years ago. And it just popped up in my head again this week as I'm really working those questions again, getting ready for the free coaching call and to do this video. And she wanted to lose weight. So this person wanted to lose weight, knew my husband was really big into fitness. He's really big into nutrition. So she was asking him questions. And at some point she said, but I'm not willing to give up my glass of milk in the morning. So that for her, that was a big no-no. She was not willing to give up that glass of milk. She would wake up, she would put a glass of milk in the freezer. So when she got out of her shower, it would be nice and cold. And she wasn't willing to give it up, which is fine, right? She was clear on what she was not willing to give up. She wanted to lose weight, but that was not going to be out of her routine. Now, could she still lose weight and have that glass of milk? For sure. She would just have to adjust other things and then start listing the things she was willing to give up. Now, to change the story a little bit to make you understand how some people are unwilling to give up stuff, if what she was unwilling to give up was going to a fast food restaurant every day for lunch, then her chances of losing weight would have been a lot less because she wasn't willing to give up that amount of calories, right? So with weight loss, we're looking more at calories. I'm not a weight loss expert, but calories, mindset, all of that goes in. But that glass of milk in the morning could be kept, but not the fast food everyday meal. And she was willing to give that up. So this is an example that is not about sleep, but I wanted to bring it in because sometimes we need to see examples outside of sleep to understand how we can make this about sleep. So when I think of my sleep today, and I think of these two questions, what am I unwilling to give up and what am I willing to give up? Everybody's going to have a different answer. And because one of the things I'm willing to give up is evenings out. I love to go to bed by 9 o'clock. Usually by 8:30, I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait for bed. That is me now. That's not me in the past. In the past, I was not willing to give up night out with friends or staying up late, or I felt that that was important. But today I'm willing to give that up because I feel so good when I sleep from 9 to 5. Now, one thing that I'm unwilling to give up, I guess, is my morning routine. So when I wake up at 5, from 5 to 7, it's me time. So this means sometimes that I don't even talk to my husband, even though we live in the same house, until after 7. He's fully aware, and it's also his me time from 5 to 7. So we as a couple are not willing to give up that time that we choose for ourselves in the morning. He goes out for a run, he does whatever he does, he watches his sports update. I, on the other hand, I journal, I meditate, I tap. And then once we both have our morning routine done, and they're totally different, then we can come in and have either breakfast together or have a chat or whatever. But both of us are unwilling to give up that morning time. So that's how I want you to start looking at this, right? So in the coaching call on October 3rd, we're actually going to have a worksheet with this. One column, what am I unwilling to give up? The other one, what am I willing to give up? Where it's going to be interactive, where I'm hoping you'll share some stuff in the chat, but to give you some examples to start you thinking. So I have a list here. One of the things that I was thinking is evening news, right? I don't have a problem with that one because I don't feel the need to listen to the news. I don't listen to it most of the time. It activates my nervous system. So I'm totally willing to give that up. But for some people, they're not willing to give up the evening news. And that's okay if you're not willing to give it up. But how can then you after bring your nervous system under control, for lack of a better word, but how can you help yourself calm down if there was something upsetting on the evening news? And maybe you're not willing to give up the evening news, but you're going to record it and watch it in the morning, right? So that you can actually go to sleep and not be activated by it. An example, late night phone calls. So some people aren't willing to give up the late night because chats or whatever, because that's the only time they get to connect with people, with certain people. Now, if my kid lived 4-hour time difference away and the only time we could connect would be late night, that would be a different story. Then I would say I'm not willing to give that up. However, he doesn't, for one, but even if he did, maybe we could find a way to connect earlier. And maybe I'm not willing to give up the connection, but maybe I'm willing to give up the time that I connect with and find a different way to connect. An example. Early meetings. I put that one there because some people, I love early meetings, but I'm not willing to have a meeting before 9 o'clock, right? That's my me time. That's the first 2 hours is me. Then the next 2 hours is getting breakfast, getting a shower, setting up my day, thinking about, but I'm not willing to have a meeting until like 9, 10 even. First client is never before 11 a.m. No, that's not true. I do have 9 o'clock clients, but not every day. But even 9 o'clock is the latest that I will jump on Zoom and be with someone. So but for you, what is it? Are you willing to have early meetings or not? The thought of having an early meeting can stop people from sleeping. And so if it's going to bring me stress, and one of the questions that I'm playing with to add to our coaching call on the 3rd is, and what drains my energy, right? So if those early morning meetings drains my energy, then can I make them in the afternoon? How do I set up my day so that I can stay more regulated, and that will improve the quality of my sleep? And so I also had a note that this is how I'm different as a coach. I wrote, in CBTI, they restrict time in bed. So for those who don't know what CBTI is, it's cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia. It can be really good if your root cause is bad behaviors. But for a lot of us, that's not it. It's mindset, or behaviors are involved, but mindset or a dysregulated nervous system. So, and not understanding. So the way I see fixing your sleep is so different than that, because I don't want you to restrict time in bed. Instead, I want you to ask yourself, what am I willing to give up and what am I not willing to give up? And what is the education that I can bring on board to help you understand why it's important to have a consistent wake up time, why it's important to, in the evening, to not watch the evening news so that you can make your nervous system and your body ready for sleep. How can you take responsibility for yourself and the health of your nervous system so that you can create a long-term plan for your sleep? We don't want quick fixes. And with CBTI, they're focusing on the behavior and they're restricting time in bed, but that doesn't always feel good to us. And a lot of people aren't willing to restrict the time in bed. Therefore, what's happening is they are fighting against themselves and it makes sleep worse. That's not my approach. My approach is really looking at what's best for you. How do you set up your life and your day so that you are able to fall asleep easy at night? What is it that you need to remove from your life? What is it that you need to add? And these first two powerful questions are a great way to start just thinking about it. And once you're aware, like, even go through your day. And so today, what am I willing to give up? What am I not willing to give up? I know I was planning stuff and all of a sudden I had this little bit of like, oh, I have a little bit of fear or anxiety showing up. I was unwilling to push it down. I instead came to my room here and I sat for 5 minutes and I was like, oh, okay, it's just because I have all these things to do and I want to do them all at once and I can't. And therefore I had this little bit of anxiety saying, like, which one do I work on first? Took 5 minutes. I was like, okay, this is my next step and I'll worry about the next one after. That is just how I've trained myself to not carry all that stress in my day anymore. I am not willing to carry stress in my day. Therefore, I am willing to sit with myself for 5 minutes to figure out what I should do next instead of spinning it around in circles, wanting to do it all at once, right? See what I mean by unwilling and willing. So that's it for today. So don't forget to go check out that new tab on my website called Free Resources. There's only one there yet, but it will grow as this channel grows, as the website grows, as the free coaching calls grows. I would love to see you on that call. If you have any questions or you have any topic you want me to cover, leave a comment in this video or send me an email at support@sleepsuccessacademy.com. That's it. Thanks.